Hey, everybody. So this, I've been doing YouTube for, uh, I guess, going on 7 years now, 6, 7 years. And this is a video that I never in a million years um, thought that I would be making or have to make. Um, Obviously, this is a video that nobody wants to make or have to make a video like this, but unfortunately, and I say we, the community, the entire retro gaming, retro game collecting community, both on YouTube and off YouTube, we have suffered just an unimaginable loss in the community. And for those of you who, I'm sure a lot of you watching this probably know, you probably know, but for those of you who don't know, unfortunately, a few days ago, Billy from the Game Chasers passed away. He unexpectedly found out that he had a brain tumor, and he battled it for about 2 weeks, I think, and it's just a battle that he didn't win, unfortunately. And so, today I'm filming this on Saturday. I needed a few days to collect my thoughts and process. I still don't even think that I've fully processed this. I don't even think that I've fully accepted it yet. It really does not feel real, but it is real. So what I wanted to do with this video, well, let me take a step back. So for those of you who don't know, and hopefully everybody does, but for those of you who are not familiar with the Game Chasers, it was started by Billy. It's Billy and Jay, and I believe they started it about 14 or 15 years ago, and their main series was them going around hunting for old video games. So they were like one of the OG retro game hunting channels, and they pretty much set the standard for everybody else going forward, because Billy really made their game chasing videos feel like you were watching a TV show. Like, it truly felt like you were watching something that would show, be like on the Travel Network or something like that. It was very, very well put together, and Billy is a master at storytelling in YouTube videos like that. So they blew up and got really big, and the series went on up until now. And for those of you who maybe haven't watched the Game Chasers, I really, really encourage you to go back, start with the first episode, and watch the series. It changed my life, and I'm going to share that. So anyway, sorry, I'm having a hard time getting my thoughts together here. What I want to do with this video is, I want to do two things. I want to share, what Billy and the Game Chasers means to me, and how Billy positively impacted my life. And then I want to share some memories, because I was fortunate enough to have not only been able to meet Billy, but be able to call him a friend. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was a close friend. Billy had a lot of close friends, obviously, but I did consider Billy a friend, and I think he considered me a friend as well. And um, yeah. So, anyways, sorry. Uh, so, all right. Let me start by. Let me take a step back again. Um, I think in times like this, it's very important for people to share their memories, share the good memories, share what that person meant to them. And I could tell you for a fact, you've probably seen it online at the outpouring of love and support that Billy literally positively impacted the lives of thousands, if not tens of thousands of people, if not even more than that. Um, and that is truly, truly something special that not many of us get to say that we've done. And I'm one of those people. I'm one of those tens of thousands of people. So I want to share what the Game Chasers means to me. And, I want to share memories and stories of just how awesome of a person Billy was, because he was truly a great man. So let me start with the history here. I started collecting again back in 2016, and I think it was sometime either 2016 or 2017. My nephew Devin, who edits for the channel, he was like, "Hey man, you got to check this channel out," and he sent me a link to the Game Chasers. I'd never heard of them before at that point. And so I watched the first episode and I was like, this is awesome. Like really, really fun video. And, me having just started collecting again, not only did their videos inspire me to collect even more and hunt even more, but I also learned a lot from their videos. I learned a lot about negotiations and where to find games, um, and I remember sometime shortly after Devin introduced me to their channel, I got the flu. I had a really, really bad flu, and I was out of commission for like 3 days. And I remember while I was laid up in bed sick, I binge watched every Game Chasers episode that had been out up to that point. And that got me through the flu. Like it made it not bad, honestly. It made me forget all about the fact that I was sick while I was watching the videos. So fast forward to 2019 when I started the YouTube channel, RetroWolf YouTube channel. Couple of 2 or 3 or 4 months into that, and I was a huge Game Chasers fan up to this point. Religiously watched every episode, and just it was a huge inspiration for me starting a YouTube channel. Like that was like the Game Chasers were really one of the main reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube channel. And I always wanted to do hunting style videos. And in the beginning, I just did like in studio stuff. But eventually I transitioned to the hunting videos like I've always wanted to do. So anyways, about 3 or 4 months into starting the channel, they posted the Kickstarter for the Game Chasers movie. And I was like, man, this is really cool. This is really cool because, after watching the Game Chasers religiously for 3 years at that point, I knew like how well of a filmmaker and a storyteller Billy was, and how good at editing Billy was, and like making his vision come to life. So I knew that this movie was going to be truly something special, and I wanted to support it. So I backed the Kickstarter. I backed one of the higher tiers of the Kickstarter. And as part of that, I was able to be on the set for a day or two. So I did. that it was, I think it was October 2019, I believe, is whenever I went to Texas for the first time. And I went on the set of the Game Chasers movie to hang out. And I had, obviously at that point, I had never met any of those guys. I'd never met Billy in person, or Jay, or Eric, or Chief, or, any of them. So I didn't know what to expect, because, there's that whole thing of like, what do they say, never meet your heroes, or I don't know what the saying is, but, obviously there was that worry of like, what are they going to be like? What are they actually going to be like in person? And so the day that I met them, I very quickly realized that the way they are in their YouTube videos, that's Billy and Jay. Like, they are 100% authentic, and that's them. So if you watch, the Game Chasers, you're gonna know Billy, because that is Billy, that is Jay. So I got to experience that, and they were very, very, very nice to me, especially Billy. That they welcomed me in with open arms, and so I got to hang out with them periodically, on set, because as you can imagine, they have a job to do, right? So they were both very busy working on the movie, but I did get to chat with them and get to know them a little bit, and then so I was on set for 2 days, and after the second day, Billy actually invited me to come on set for a third day. And that was awesome. And I did. And I actually brought a bunch of games with me as well that I was trying to sell or trade. And Billy asked me if he could use the games as props for the movie for a specific scene. And I was like, yeah, man, absolutely. So a lot of the games that I brought were actually props in the movie, which was really cool. So I believe it was after the third day on set, Billy actually invited me to come out and eat dinner with him and Jay and Rob and Yoshi and a bunch of other people that were there at the movie, and Leon. That really meant a lot to me, because I was nobody. I was just a dude, just a random dude that supported the movie and was on set. And, my YouTube channel was nothing. I mean, I had like, I don't know, a couple of hundred subscribers maybe at the time. And so, that didn't mean anything to Billy, the fact that I had a small YouTube channel. He was just like, that's the kind of person he was. Like, he was really, really friendly with everybody. And like, I observed both him and Jay, accepting everybody and, able to get along with anybody, which was truly awesome to see. So I got to have dinner at a really good barbecue place in Texas called Heart 8. And it was surreal. It was very surreal for me because, first off, when I started watching the Game Chasers and when I started the YouTube channel, I never in a million years thought I would get a chance to actually meet the guys, much less hang out with them, much less become a friend. And I am just, I'm still to this day baffled that I got that opportunity, but I'm honored and I'm so happy that I got that opportunity. And then Billy invited me to come out on set for a fourth day. So I was able to hang out on the movie set for 4 days because of Billy's kindness and generosity. And I was able to be an extra in the movie, and I was able to basically be, kind of be a production assistant and help them with whatever they needed. So that was really a special time for me. And another thing that came out of that experience, and I owe this to Billy, I really do. Billy is the one that inspired me and made me realize that I wanted to go down this road, and that is filmmaking and videography. If it wasn't for Billy and that experience on the set of the Game Chasers movie, that truly ignited a spark in me to want to pursue a new goal in life, a new dream in life. And if it wasn't for Billy and that experience, I would not have pursued that. So I already owe a lot to those guys. You know, they were my biggest inspiration for starting the channel, and they inspired me to pursue this path that I'm on right now. So, you know, fast forward a little bit. I'm gonna share some memories. I'm gonna share some memories that I have with Billy. Some really good memories. So there was a point where I think he was working on filming some reshoots for the movie. This was maybe a year after it was filmed. He had to do some reshoots, and he had to film some, like, I guess, you know, the pickup scenes and stuff like that. Or not pickup scenes. I can't remember the proper terminology right now, but he had to film some additional stuff for the movie. And I think he was investing in a new camera monitor. So he was selling his camera monitor. It was like a Ninja camera monitor. And he posted about it on Twitter. And I needed a new camera monitor, so I reached out to him, and I was like, "Hey, man, I would love to buy the camera monitor from you." And he made me a great deal on it. Made me a great deal. So I bought it. He shipped it out to me. And when I got the box, you know, I was expecting to just have the camera monitor in there, but I opened the box, and I got it out to show on camera. I don't know what I did with it, but when I opened the box, it wasn't just the monitor. It wasn't just the monitor in the box. It was like a slate, and it was a light, and it was some extra other goodies, and a handwritten note from Billy. And I wish that I could find the note. I've got it somewhere. I don't know where. I'm going to have to track it down. If I ever track it down, I'll definitely post about it. But he put a handwritten note in the box, and I don't remember exactly what the note says, but it was something along the lines of, "I threw in some extra goodies for you that I don't need anymore. I hope you're able to find use." And, you know, it was him encouraging me to continue to follow my dreams and to continue to pursue my goals. It was a very encouraging handwritten note. And that's the kind of guy Billy was. He didn't have to do that. You know, it was a transaction. It was me just buying something from him, but he threw in some extra stuff and a handwritten note. And, you know, that really, really, really meant a lot to me. So the movie, they finished the movie, and I got to go out to the movie premiere, like the actual premiere of the movie in Texas. And that was another honor and just surreal. So I got to go out to the movie premiere, and, you know, I got to hang out with the guys some more. And I got to experience the premiere of the Game Chasers movie. And this is my signed Blu-ray copy of it, which, you know, signed by both Billy and Jay there. So I got to experience the premiere, and there was like a Q&A after, and I went up to the mic, and I don't think I asked a question. I think I just kind of gave a speech about how inspiring it was, and, you know, how people should really pursue their dreams, and congratulating Billy on doing just that, pursuing his dreams and making it a reality. Because that's what he did. That man made a movie, an actual movie that you can watch right now on Tubi and other platforms. And it's a real movie. It's a high production value real movie. It's an indie film, but it's a real movie. And Billy did that. He had a dream, and he achieved that dream. How many of us can say that? You know, how many of us can say that we had a dream and we pursued it and actually achieved it? Unfortunately, not many of us can, but Billy did it. He did it. He made a movie, and I love it. I cherish it. So, got to do the movie premiere, got to eat dinner with them again, which was awesome. And fast forward, I don't know, maybe another year, I went to Retropalooza for the first time. And I went to Retropalooza for the first time, and, got to hang out with everybody again. And, that was a really good time. And, another year or two, I think it was the next year, we wanted to go back to Retropalooza. And at this time, my YouTube channel had grown quite a bit, and I was very interested in possibly being a content creator guest at Retropalooza. And so I reached out to Billy, and I asked him about it, and he didn't even hesitate. He was like, "Absolutely, man." And he was like, "I'll reach out to Jay, and we'll make it happen." And he did, and I was able to be one of the content creator guests at Retropalooza that year. I want to say that was 2023. Yeah, I think that was 2023. I had the honor of being a guest, and it was thanks to Billy. And that's, again, just, he was truly a kind person to everybody. So I got to go back to Retropalooza again and be a guest, and got to actually film a video with Billy at his house, which was awesome. That was a really fun experience, and yet another honor. We filmed a video at his house of me going through his movies and stuff that he was selling and making a pile, and he cut me an amazing deal. Way below the value, and got to explore his game room and pick through his GameCube games. And there was one game that he had. It was actually, you know what? Let me grab this 1 second. So was in his game room because, I'm going for a complete GameCube set. And I was in his game room, and he had a copy of Superman Shadow of Apocalypse on the GameCube. And the thing about it is, I had the game already, but I did not have the manual. And he had the manual. And he actually was willing to sell me just the manual. So this manual, the Superman Shadow of Apocalypse manual, is actually from Billy's collection. It's from his copy of the game. And he sold it to me for like a really, really great price. He made me an awesome deal. And that was a lot of fun, just being able to hang out with Billy at his house and film a fun, silly video of me buying stuff. I'm pretty sure Billy farted in the video at least once, I'm pretty sure. But man, what an absolute honor that was. To be allowed in his home and be able to see his game room and his collection. And Leon was there because I think Leon was staying there at the time because he came to town to go to Retropalooza. For those of you who don't know Leon, he's a special effects technician. He worked on a lot of big projects, and he did the special effects on Adventures in Game Chasing. So anyways, that was a really good memory. I'm glad that I was able to capture that in a video. And Billy came on my channel a couple of times. Well, back when I was doing like the live podcast, he came on, and I was able to interview him about the movie and, just hang out live with the chat and everybody. And just, yeah, I mean, I feel very, very privileged to have gotten the opportunity to get to know Billy and have conversations with him and be able to have dinner and hang out and, I would sometimes reach out to him with videography questions, and he always answered back and, gave me advice and gave me tips. He was just, yeah. So the last time that I got to hang out with Billy was this year at Southeast Game Exchange in Greenville, South Carolina. Him and Jay and Rob came to town, and they had a booth not too far down from mine. And the Saturday night, we had like the after party for the guests and vendors and stuff. And we went to this really nice kind of bar restaurant called Local Q. And I went in there. I didn't know who all was going to be there. I went in there and I was at the counter ordering a drink, and I didn't even know Billy and Jay and Rob were there, but I was at the counter ordering a drink, and Billy came over to me and was like, "Hey man, we're over here. Come sit with us." And that was the last time I got to hang out with Billy. I was sitting with Billy and Rob, and we were talking about the movie, and we were talking about AI and how AI is probably going to impact the movie industry. And we had a great conversation about that, and we talked about the Star Wars. We talked about the new Star Wars trilogy, and I was talking to Billy about the Game Chasers channel, and talking about the future of the Game Chasers channel. And he said to me something along the lines of, "I want to make movies. I want to make movies." That's what Billy really wanted to do. He wanted to be a filmmaker, and he was a filmmaker. He did it. He made a movie. He did it. He achieved that dream. Another thing I wanted to show that I wasn't expecting is this copy of Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. Some of the games that they used as props for the movie, I donated to Billy and Jay to be able to sign and sell, because they needed to make the movie cost a lot to make, and they needed to make some more money to go towards the movie. So I donated a lot of the games that I brought with me that were props, and Billy and Jay signed this one, and a bunch of other people that were on the cast signed it, and Billy sent it out to me. So I wasn't expecting that. That's, so yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to just share. I know this has been long, and I'm sorry about that, but I just wanted to take a moment to share how Billy positively impacted my life. Inspired me to start the YouTube channel, inspired me to go for videography and filmmaking, and I'll never forget that. And he was such a good person. I have more memories. I could share so many more. But I guess I'll end this video by saying two things. This is an unimaginable loss for this community, and especially Billy's friends, close friends, and family. I can't even imagine what his wife and kid are going through right now. And I got the opportunity to meet them too, and they're great people. So if you have watched the Game Chasers, if you are a fan, go back through and rewatch the series. Watch the movie. I know I'm going to. I'm going to rewatch the series. I'm going to rewatch it with my wife because she's never seen the Game Chasers series. And I'm going to rewatch the movie. Um, if Billy positively impacted your life in any way, please share it online, share those memories, share the positive impact that he had on your life. Because like I said, that man positively impacted the lives of tens of thousands of people. And how many of us can say that? Not many. Not many people can say that. That is truly a special thing. If you are not familiar with the Game Chasers, I encourage you to check them out. Please check them out. Especially if you collect retro video games and you go game hunting, I promise you'll love it. And the movie you can watch for free on Tubi, Adventures in Game Chasing. Billy chased his dreams and he achieved his dreams. And I mean, look, life is short, you know. If you have a dream, if you have a goal in life, don't wait. Don't wait. Go for it. Chase that dream, chase that goal. And even though Billy is gone, I take some solace and I take some comfort in the fact that Billy is going to live on. He is going to be immortalized and live on through the movie that he created, through the Game Chasers YouTube channel, and through the tens of thousands of people who loved him and whose lives he touched. A piece of his soul is going to be in all of these things. And that gives me some comfort. So rest in peace, Billy. And my deepest condolences to all of his family members and his closest friends.